Zulu King's office has dismissed reports that every Zulu person would be asked to pay 10 Rand a month to fund the affairs of the Zulu nation. In a statement, the office has made it clear that King Misuzulu has no knowledge of such a proposal, saying it was never tabled, discussed, or even endorsed by any official structure of the Royal House.
Yeah, so the question is, how does the Royal House plan to deal with this type of information? And by the way, we have seen conflicting reports. You would see in the Daily News today, thumbs up for King's 10 Rand levy, but also then that statement from the Zulu House. So we'll get into all of this with the Zulu Royal spokesperson, Prince Tulani Zulu.
Baba Zulu, thank you so much for the time. Really appreciate it. It's unfortunate because there's a lot that comes out from whether it be the council, the King's advisors, from yourself. Which one stands true at this point in time? If you could provide clarity. I know you've sent out that statement. If you could repeat that perhaps for us again. And then whether the Royal House would be in support of a proposal like this in future.
A very good morning to you and your viewers. Firstly, I would like to say whatever is being said, I'm the right person to say whatever that pertains to royalty at this moment. I wish to say the rumors, or because I will call it rumors, that the people of KwaZulu have been requested to donate 10 Rand. That is actually hearsay that are uncalled for. And as the royalty, we deny having had to do such a thing. In fact, I think media people have that tendency of taking something that has not been tabled in front of the king, not even having endorsed by the Royal Council, and then they take it as truth. And I hope they will hear now that whatever everything that has to do with the royalty, I'm the spokesperson of His Majesty and the spokesperson of the Royal House. They should verify whatever information. But having said that, we live in a democratic country. People of KwaZulu have got concerned about things as they are prevailing in royalty. And when they are in dialogue and talking about what they think must help the Zulu nation, we took no offense of that, only that people must not take things from the subject of the king when they are in dialogue about things that they think will help the kingdom go forward. Maybe one day, I don't rule it out, but I'm saying at the moment, nothing has been brought in the attention of His Majesty, nor has been endorsed by His Majesty. It's only the things that are done by the subjects of His Majesty. And as I say, we're in a democratic country, and the country especially is in dialogue with so many issues this involved. But the royal family or the royal house or the king of the Zulu nation
Yes.
has not had any endorsement on that.
Baba Zulu, the problem obviously comes in that the king's advisors are the ones that then speak, or you'll have the late Prince Mangosuthu Butheleziz's son, Zuzefa Buthelezi, then speaking as well. And those are significant speakers within the Zulu kingdom, and you can understand that that's where some of the commentary comes from. Should there not perhaps be a conversation with them about the kind of confusion it creates when they do speak out like this, or the misrepresentation or misinformation? Should that not be a conversation internally?
I don't think I should talk on their behalf. If you say they are king's advisors, I can't speak on their behalf, but I take them as just subjects of the king, concerned people who wanted to air their views. But they did not come to table it in front of His Majesty, and His King, as I have said, have not endorsed that. Even the chairperson of the King's Council has nothing to do with that. I'm saying a caution to news people just to verify each and every information before they attach whatever information to the royalty. As I say, now I wish I'm clear if I say, as Prince Tulani of Ezibindini, I've been appointed by His Majesty to talk on his behalf. Whatever that does not come out of my mouth, I don't think can be taken as a truth, and media people should know that.
All right, Prince Zulu, it's Iman speaking now, and it's interesting that you say that de facto, the only voice on decisions, consensus, suggestions comes from yourself, not the Zulu Royal Council chairperson, Nkosi Zuzifa Buthelezi, nor Professor Jabulani Mapalala and Pilani Mavundla, who we as the public assume or have been told are the close advisors of the king. So I just want to place that on record, that as of this morning, the clear directive from the Zulu Royal House is that you exclusively speak on behalf of and for the king and the Zulu nation. Before I move into my question, I just want us to unequivocally put that on the table, because the Daily News has also quoted you as saying that you defend the proposal, which is something it sounds like you're saying the opposite of this morning.
But I want to come out clear about the chairperson of the King's Council. He has been appointed as the King's Council chairperson, but at the moment, the King's Council is still under construction. Prince Zuzifa is still busy with the legislation pertaining on the election of the King's Council. So his duties are not yet started. I did not say Prince Zuzifa's utterances or any other thing that he suggests in the media are not valid. I'm talking about myself as the spokesperson, but you know what happens? We as the royal structures have got different jobs to do. We account on different things that we do for the kingdom. But I'm saying whatever that must come from the king is coming. It comes through me. That's what I want to say. But I don't want to talk about other people or other structures of royalty. Specifically, this 10 Rand issue, because it has never been approved by His Majesty, but people of the media take it as if now we are on a process or procedure of making people to pay money. But all I'm saying is that that has never been verified. The media people did not verify that, as it was not endorsed by the king. People must not say it as it comes from His Majesty. If ever there is something that His Majesty would like to say, I will be the mouthpiece of the king.
Yeah. Look, if we have time, Prince Zulu, we'll circle back to the comments that were made and attributed to the Zulu Royal Council and so on. But I just want to find out about the sponsorship of the Zulu Royal House. The KwaZulu-Natal government currently, I understand, allocates about 86 million rand every year to fund royal activities. If the king, as you're saying, doesn't support the 10 Rand initiative, is there another plan for financial independence from the state? I mean, is this a conversation that is happening of how the Zulu Royal House subsists independently of government?
Yes, let me start by talking about the 86 million you're talking about. The Office of His Majesty is a chief directorate under the Office of the Premier. And that means there are workers who are fully employed by the Office of His Majesty. So that money you're talking about, maybe 45% of that money goes to the officials and all the workers in the chief directorate. So there is nothing much that the royalty gain from that. But coming to your question, we do have a royal house hold trust that has been assigned with the duties of trying to fundraise monies that can supplement whatever the government cannot do. Maybe the Royal Household Trust are still under the strategies and meaning of how to get money, but not that people might come and say they are talking about 10 rands, which has never even come from the Royal Household Trust, and then the media people will take that as truth and qualify it as it coming from the king.
Baba, with that in mind then, should there be independence completely for the Zulu kingdom, one, and the Zulu royal family? And does government have too much of a say in the traditional affairs of the Zulu kingdom, do you feel, at this stage?
Come again, I didn't get you well.
So should there be complete financial independence from government for the Zulu kingdom? So should it be independent of government, meaning it doesn't get funding from government? And then just two very quickly, is government too involved in the traditional affairs of the royal family?
Yes, of course, we have a dream that one day the kingdom will be independent from the government. And I know that even the government is also willing to do that. That is why they have also introduced a Royal Household Trust that they are supporting at the moment. And I don't think they will support it forever. They are trying to employ strategies so that the Royal Household Trust will try and employ some other strategies to get the Royal Household independent. It's not good for the government to interfere so much in the affairs of the tradition, but because we lack funds, they have to support. Of course, if they support with the money of the government, in terms of PFMA, it comes with some hurdles and some strategies on how it should be spent. But if it happens that we get independent from the government, then I think the Royal Household Trust or the traditional community would be in a place to do their activities without having to look into the policies of the government, because some of the things that are supposed to be done by the traditional communities or by the king, you will find that maybe they will actually not be allowed in terms of the policy of the government. That is why the Royal Household Trust is there just to forge between what the government can do and then what the traditional or the kingdom can do without one harming the other.
Prince Zulu, in conclusion, just share with our viewers and the Zulu nation as well what the state is of the Zulu Royal House's finances are. Are you in financial distress or are things stable?
It's a $1 million question. I can't say the Zulu royalty is stable. Right now, we are planning the Rit dance. And the Rit dance has got a specific budget that is done by the government. But when we see the work that is involved in conducting this ceremony, it needs a lot of money. However, the government cannot exceed his budget. So we need to have money so that where the government ends, we are able to proceed with our own funds. So we are not financially stable. The mere fact that we depend on government on our activities of the royalty is not enough. So we are not financially stable, but we are trying our best, but not that we will entertain news people when they say we have demanded some 10 rands from the community, because we have not. I don't say that might not happen in future, but let the people talk about it and see how far they talk about it. But once they table in front of the king, then we will just strategize and see how that can happen, because any strategy will be employed to make the royalty to be stable financially, but in line with the policy of the government and in line with the SARS and all other policies involving collecting finance in our country.
the preservation as well of a cultural heritage could even be at stake in some of this. Babu Thulani Zulu, asibonge, hambe ngothula noxolo sibonge. Thank you so much for your time as well then this morning, the Royal House spokesperson.